All right. Hello and welcome to week 3. This is going to be week 3 of the health update. Now first thing before I do anything, I just really wanted to point out, honestly, my pretty shirt. And the reason why is I got it, and my cat's coming inside the room. I got it about 2 years ago and it literally never fit. It was too small. But that's okay. Kept it in my closet because that's what I do. Sorry to hear meowing. But now it fits. And I'm happy. It's still pretty. So, yay, red shirt today. Anyway, so let's talk about how this week's been going, okay? So as usual, we're gonna go through the like the vitals basically. I've added a few things. We're going to have a quick like medical kind of education thingy, which I've been trying to do, and kind of let you know what's been going on this week, okay? So, like I said, the cat. So anyways, we're gonna start with weight. This is actually where I want to start every week, but I get sidetracked and sometimes I just put in a thing and don't think about it and whatever. Anyway, so as of this week, as of well, Friday, because my weeks I have go from Saturday to Friday, I've been down down a pound since last Friday, which yay, it's good for me. I'm very happy with it. This was kind of a rough week for me. Tuesday, just had some high stress going on, some high anger. It's kind of been going on throughout the week. It's been fun, but that's okay. But basically, the reason I bring that up is that your stress hormones can mess with you, like your water retention, your appetite, your sleep, and your morning weight. I take my weight every morning. Well, at least I take my weight as soon as I wake up, which most mornings is morning, and then on the weekends it's usually sometime in the afternoon, but whatever. So this can all affect your weight, so just bringing that up real quick, and it's okay. But despite all that, my weight has been trending downward, which is good. I did have that normal midweek rise, and then basically my body decided to correct itself, which it seems to be doing a lot lately. I like it when my body corrects itself. And then it just started dropping steadily into the end of the week, just a little bit by bit. But just to let you know, losing a pound is healthy. You don't want to like lose 10 pounds a week. That is actually unhealthy. You do want to do a slow weight loss. It takes time. I'm impatient. You might be impatient. I know, it's okay, but you have to look at it as this is healthier for me to do in a slow and steady pace, you know, be the turtle. So, yeah, so the end of week 3, which was the end of this week, which was Friday, what was Friday? What's today? Hold on, I'll give you a date. So it was officially 12 o'clock on the 26th, the 25th, 24th, there we go, 24th of March. So, I was at 235.2 pounds. At the end of last week, I was at 236.2 pounds. So again, I lost a pound. Now the change to my first actual recorded weight, which was like in August, I think. When I first recorded my weight, I was at 286. So basically I have lost, definitely lost 50.8 pounds since then. And then I also added in my possible starting weight. The reason I say possible is I never did start weighing until like a few months into it, and so I kind of remember what they said at the doctor's. I don't remember much, especially from that very first doctor's appointment, but I do remember that when I started about early April of last year, I was about 295 pounds. So if I was around 295 pounds, it's literally been a year. Like I said, that was I think my first appointment was like April 2nd or April 1st or something like that of 2025. So it's been now a little over a year, and since then, if we're gonna say 295, I've dropped 59.8 pounds. I'm happy. Yay! So that's a good thing. Now, as we look through it, the pattern is it's consistent with how my body works. Also, I have stress. Well, I always have stress. It's normal. I had some stress. I had some poor sleep. That is also normal for me. So again, that can give you some temporary water retention. At the end of the week, things stabilize, that drop happens. So kind of we kind of did this a little bit. And this is, and as we looked at it in week 2, it kind of did the same thing. So it's normal for me to see throughout the week my body weight kind of go up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit. But I try to, even though I do my weight every day, I do look more at that week to week rather than the day to day. So basically what we're saying here is the bottom line is, even in a week full of stress, anger spikes, I get angry very easily, just FYI, and equipment issues. That's a whole nother thing. Let's talk about this computer in a minute. There's been some equipment issues. My scale still moved in the right direction. It wasn't pretty, but it was productive, so that's good. Next, we'll talk about the blood pressure. Basically, that kind of stayed a little calm and stable, even with stress, which is very good. That means that the exercise is working, the meds are working. Let's see here. What am I looking at? I make notes. I have notes. Can I read my notes? No. Okay, there we go. So basically, with all my readings from last week, I had my little thing make a little average. So my average was basically 118/75. It's good. I think last week I said I was going to look up what a normal one looks like. I think it's 120/80. Did I look it up? No. And I'm not about to look it up now. So we'll try again for next week, but I think that's what it is. Also on Tuesday night, I replaced my machine. So, and I'm gonna go over that because basically our spotlight this week is gonna be Hello Heart, and that's what I use to track my blood pressure. But my machine, and this is my old machine, it was having some issues, and then I finally caved and finally got a hold of them, and they said, okay, we'll send you a new one. So got my new one on Tuesday, and as of Tuesday, I have my new blood pressure machine, which is good. So what this means is also this is, well, I'm not gonna say it is the first reliable week, but it might be the first reliable week of my blood pressure readings, because as I thought about it, I'm like, it's quite possible with those malfunctions that were happening that I may not be getting fully correct readings, if that makes sense. So yeah, whatever, it's fine. So from the 20th, which is the day I got it, my blood pressure average, but yeah, well, no, April 20th onward is what it's saying. Yeah, that 118/75. No matter what, my blood pressure stayed stable. It stayed healthy. No, I had no hypertensive readings this week. That is good. I had no dangerous spikes, no red flags. Yay. Now it does make a note here. Now, granted, you can't see all my blood pressure readings because that's a lot of data. But I will let you know one thing is when I was having it kind of, my co-pilot kind of analyze my readings. It's like, well, your readings in the morning, and this is normal for stress. I'm like, no. Here's the thing. This is me. This is normal. I do wake up in a panic state a majority of days. Some days, not so bad. Some days, yeah, I'm panicking. I don't know why. I just wake up that way. I'm working on it. Well, I'm working on regular panic, and we'll look at that. I'm thinking about it. But anyway, it is normal for me to actually wake up in a panic state of some type. And so because I wake up in a panic state, it's going to be normal that my blood pressure in the morning is going to be higher than the rest of the day. But even with it higher, it's still in normal range. So that has been a very, very good thing, and made me very, very happy to see that. So bottom line though is that it gave me basically this week, from what we can tell, it's been my first week of actual accurate, well, not full week since Tuesday, first week of actual accurate readings. And it's consistently staying normal, even when I'm stressed or panicked or something like that. So yay, that's good. Next, we're gonna talk about my heart rate. Now, same thing when it comes to the heart rate in the Tuesday thing, because this does, even though this, the Fitbit, does the heart rate and stuff like that, the heart rates that I actually track. Why are my cats acting up today? Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna scratch that scratching post. My cat's psychotic. It's okay. She's done, I think. Anyway, so anyway, this machine, the the heart rate that I actually track for like my records and stuff like that, I use the Hello Heart. So whenever I take my blood pressure, it also gives me a heart rate reading. So we do both. So again, Tuesday is more than likely more accurate. But anyway, going forward, so my average for the week was about 96 heart rates per minute, or heartbeats per minute. Yeah, okay. And again, it says this is normal. It says it's especially normal for someone like me. Again, you do want to look, not everybody's gonna be the same, and that includes everything from your sugar levels, like, you know, maybe 120, going over 120 is normal for you. Maybe going under is, same thing. Heart rate, maybe your heart rate is faster than somebody else's. There's always going to be that baseline that they're going to tell you, like you look it up, like what is normal this, and it's going to say, oh, this is. But anyways, for me, like I said, I wake up panic. I'm stressed out all the time. I have very fragmented, very short sleep. And she runs away. Anyways, very fragmented, very short sleep. And also this week I've been increasing my daily activity. So that's gonna be normal for my heart rate to be in that 96 average range right now. Now we're of course gonna hope it goes down even more. It has been. So we'll see how it goes as we go. Okay. Let's see here. We praised the machine. We talked about that. And basically what it says is here also is no, oh, why does it give me words that I cannot pronounce? Tachycardia? And no whatever that is, spikes. No dangerous lows, no regular patterns that's seen. And of course, like I said, this week's probably got my first accurate heart rate baseline. And it's stable, healthy throughout the entire week. So, good. So next we'll talk about my glucose, my sugars, which is, like I said, a big thing that was going towards that seizure was both my blood pressure and my sugar. So this is very important for me to track as well. And as we said, I think week 1, I am, if I can keep this up, I am so close to getting to that. I never thought I'd be excited to be pre-diabetic. But you know what? I started at 13.9 A1C, and now it was a 6.2. I don't remember. We'll look at it later. But yeah, so glucose, very important for me to track, very important to take care of. But basically, now just to let you know, in the mornings when I take them, I'm usually fasting. I have a tendency not to eat breakfast. I'm just not hungry. And a lot of times if I do eat breakfast, especially if I'm not hungry, I do start to feel sick. So I usually don't eat until lunch. In all honesty, if you look it up, you see various different things. Some people are like, oh, that's fine. And then they see some things that are going to go, oh, no, you should be eating breakfast. I'm not going to tell you what to do on that one. I am not a doctor. But yeah, I don't usually eat breakfast on a normal basis, but that's okay. So it says basically my fasting, which is my mornings, I'm usually between 97 to 118. Yeah, that's just to let you know real quick, seeing numbers under 100 is not something I have seen in, how old am I? 43. 8 years? Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Afternoon, it varies based on meals, stress, activity. That's normal. Basically, I only had one high reading. I had a high reading of 142. That was on Friday, and the only reason really it was that high. Now, it is possible I should probably be testing after meals as well to see how fast it goes down. I don't do that. What I usually test is in the morning, and like I said, on a normal basis in the morning, I'm fasting. I'm giving you a timeline on whenever I wake up at like 9 a.m. for work, by the way. In the afternoon, right before lunch, I haven't eaten yet, but I'm about to eat lunch. And then after I'm done my exercises in the evening, which is pretty late at night, and then I usually eat afterwards. Yeah, I eat real late at night. Anyway, and then on the weekends, I usually test if I remember to, which a lot of times usually just when I first wake up. So that's the thing. But, you know, I, again, should be testing on the weekends, but those are my rest days. If it's fine throughout the week, it's fine. You know, it's okay. but I'm trying. It's okay. So that higher read, that 142, was taken like 1 or 2 hours after I was done eating, which I don't normally test that close to after I ate. So that's not bad, in all honesty. So no abnormal spikes outside that normal post-meal. No hypoglycemia, and my trend is pretty stable. So let's see here. My average glucose for the week, 110. Yay. Morning fasting numbers remain stable and predictable. My afternoon evening numbers vary normally with meals and stress. Talked about the 142. There's no dangerous highs or lows anywhere in there, which I was in the danger zone a lot before all this. So again, this is good for me. And so it shows that my glucose is controlled. I might actually be able to say I have controlled type 2 diabetes. Believe it or not, that is a big thing for me, because nobody said I've had controlled type 2 diabetes, again, in 8 years. It's been uncontrolled because it's been high up there and all that good stuff. So it's controlled. I'm so excited, you don't even know. Anyways, let's talk about sleep. Again, I don't sleep very well. My sleep on a normal basis is kind of broken. I do have a tendency to sometimes wake up. I'll be up from anywhere from just a few minutes to like an hour, hour and a half. I don't get much sleep because I just don't. Even on the weekends when I can be, well, there's some weekends, I can sleep like 14, 15 hours. But on a normal basis, I'm still waking up like not long afterwards and starting the days. And a lot of times, depending on the weekend, like I will actually wake up after like 3 to 4 hours, and then I'll do stuff for 3 to 4 hours, and I'm like, ooh, nap time. And then my nap time is never nap time. I like to call it second sleep, because I sleep another few hours. I got some messed up sleep. So anyways, let's talk about sleep. Let me see here. It did average to about 6 hours a night. For me, that's not bad. Honestly, about last year, I was probably averaging closer to 5 with a lot of low nights. So that's actually not too bad, but I do have to work on it. I honestly have not been working on my sleep because I just don't. I got too much to do, apparently. So, but that is, that you know, we'll call that next step, and we'll get into that. So anyways, so we want to talk about this, my sleep. It's usually fragmented, it's usually inconsistent, it's usually, and it is very influenced by stress, by panic, especially the panic wake-ups, and of course my alarm clock. I hate my alarm clock. Who loves their alarm clock? That poor thing. Anyway, so I will wake up multiple times a night. There was one night this week where it was actually kind of a guess, because I do track my sleep with my Fitbit. It actually does pretty good. Like I can actually look and go, yeah, that's it. But so whenever I go take a shower, I know, like I said, like I think they said like you can wear it in the shower. I don't trust that. To me, I'm like, yeah, wear it in the shower. That makes an excuse for, you know, whenever you need a new one. I'm paranoid. It's okay. Anyway, so I'll put it on to charge, and I'll leave it there charging. And yeah, I know one night this week I woke up 2 hours. Well, I think it was 2 hours later, and guess what was still on the charger and not on said wrist. So I'm usually really good at keeping it on when I sleep, but it happens. So yeah, like I said, that was actually Friday. Like I think Friday was about 4.5 hours, and I kind of had to put an about in there because I'm pretty sure it was 2 hours before I put it back on. I don't know, I passed out. Anyway, so yay. But yeah, I did average to about 6 hours, including that 4.5 that we think is kind of average, but it could be higher, it could be lower, I don't know. But but more than likely that's about where it was, so that's good. So according to this, it does say I had two decent weekend nights. Of course, it's a weekend night. And then of course it dropped once the work week began. That's because the work week involves an alarm clock. That's why. Otherwise, I will sleep until I wake up on a normal basis. Yeah. Yeah, it says my sleep pattern is usually 5 to 6 hours a night. We talked about 424. We talked about the panic wake-ups. And it says the panic wake-ups will explain why even a 6 plus, like more than 6 hours sleep will not seem all that restful. And it correlates with dips. None of my nights this week reached the ideal 7 to 9 hour restorative range. So someday I'll work on sleep, but this is probably like the bad part that you're going to see multiple times. And that's okay. Let's see here. What's next? Yeah, we were talking about. So let's talk about steps. So how many steps I did this week. Now this week I started back up. Remember we talked last week about that exercise routine? Yes, I think I did okay. Give me 1 second and we'll talk about steps. Hold on. Okay. So steps. Let me see here. This week I averaged a total of 6,766 average steps a day. I would like to average at least 7,500 a day, but that's been higher than it's been for a while because I've been I was kind of unmotivated for that, and you know, I kind of took that week off, but so yeah, back in routine, yay. So basically my weekend movement is intentionally slow, so that does bring down my average steps a little bit. Like my weekend movement can be as low as like 300 steps because I ain't doing it. Honestly, nowadays when I weekend, it's either in my bed and I'm watching TV, or I'm in here working on the computer to try and get this up and running and the websites and stuff like that. We'll talk about websites later. Yeah. But yeah, so, and then my weekday steps were strong. I kept most of my weekdays above 8,000 steps this week. And then the most steps I did the most steps I did one of these days was 15.5 thousand steps. That was a very busy day for me, and honestly, that will probably be some of my Thursdays because I'm doing the Ingrid, unless I'm moving to the half-hour videos. I don't know, but either way, 15.5 steps. Good. Let's see here. Do a lot of stair work. Now this Friday, I also did lower my average because this Friday I did have some other obligations. That's the one day I was not able to do my exercises. But that's okay. It happens. I'm not going to get home at like 9 o'clock at night and then go, oh, let me go. No, it's fine. So, you know, again, you can have rest days, you can have days with obligations. It's okay. Just be okay with it. Don't be mad. Don't go, well, I could have. It's okay. Yeah. So the total steps I did last week was 47,365 steps. Yay. We already talked about the average. My highest day again was that 15. It was 15,517 steps was my highest day. My lowest day was a weekend at 479 steps. My weekday activity is strong and consistent. My weekends steps, they are intentionally low. Again, those are my rest days. Well, they're my rest days from doing exercise video. Bottom line, healthy, sustainable activity pattern with strong weekday movement and appropriate weekend rest. Yes. One thing I'm adding on here is water. Now, we do want to make a note, and this was just really quick, because water is also something you want to... I did find out, like, I never really believed people, and they're like, oh, drink more water, it's better for you, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to be honest with you, I've noticed my hair's been growing a lot faster, it's getting thicker, it's probably not going to be as thick as when I was a kid, but it's still, it's feeling healthier. I've had people telling my skin looks better, like all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, really? Okay, I guess it is a thing. And of course, I'm taking some vitamins for that as well. What's funny is I actually started taking the vitamins after people started telling me that, because I'm like, ooh, if this really is the thing, let's just add some more stuff to it. But really, you do want to drink, I believe it's at least 64 ounces of water a day. So anyway, so I decided I'm gonna put on here my track of water. FYI for future, whenever I track water, I only track what I've finished. So whatever bottle I have that day, whether it be one of my 40 ounces or one of my smaller ones, when I'm done, I write down the time, I track down, well, let's say in this case, this is a 20 ounce. This is from Walmart, and it says level up. This is my water bottle for this week's. But anyway, so whenever I finish this, basically what I'll do is I'll write down the time, I'll put down 20 ounces of water, and I'll just do that throughout the day. Well, here's the thing. Let's say I've done 4 of these. I haven't drank much water today, I just realized. Anyway, let's say I've done 4 of these, and so I'm at 80. Well, by the time I get done the night, I might be down to here, but I don't track it because I don't finish it. And that's just the way I work. I mean, technically I could, so I actually do drink more water than what we're going to see here, but it's really just depending, you know, like halfway or something. I don't track it unless I finish it. It's just, again, the way my brain works, and that's okay. I have gone to like water nowadays, which is kind of weird, but anyway. So this week, as I've tracked, just to let you know, I have a tendency not to track my water on the weekends sometimes. I don't think I did last weekend. Anyway, from what I tracked this week, I drank a total of 276 ounces. Let me have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I just count the weekdays on this one for the average as well, because I didn't track. It's not that I didn't drink water on the weekend, I just didn't track it. So for the average, just to let you know, it's just the weekdays that I did track. So I was drinking an average of 55.2 ounces a day. Yesterday, I ended up really not drinking as much water. But yesterday was also one of those rare days I went out and I had an adult drink, because I'm in my 40s. I don't drink much once in a blue moon, but hey, I went and got a drink. So ended up really not drinking that much water, and that's okay. So based on here, I had 4 excellent hydration days in a row. I drank 64 ounces. Again, I actually drink more than that, but drank at least 64 ounces a day for those 4 days. Friday did drop to that 20 ounce, so I did finish up a bottle. And to be perfectly honest, when I thought about it, by the end of the night, I was pretty much more than halfway through, so I was actually almost at 40 ounces of water. And that's not including the water I drank at the restaurant. Yeah, so it was actually a lot more than 20. But if my brain could just allow me to actually track things before they're finished, hey, that's okay. Again, we removed the weekend, just to get a clearer, more honest picture, because just the week we didn't track, I don't know what I drank on the weekends. And again, we talked about true intake. So basically what we got a total of 276 ounces of water, average 55 a day, strong hydration Monday through Thursday, Friday dip due to obligations. And so when I do track, I hydrate extremely well and shows solid, consistent patterns. So good. Yay. Another thing we're going to add in here, and the reason I'm adding this in here is basically the medical thing we're going to talk about today. The somewhat, yeah, well, the medical as I can get from Google thing. I still have a tag on that. Ignore that. Anyway, so we're going to talk about calories. So we're going to talk about, I'm just going to kind of give you an average deficiency. So this is how many calories I was under the amount that I used according to my Fitbit. But we're going to talk about that just a little bit more in just a little bit, so you're going to understand why. Okay. Anyways, so what do I got here? So we're going to do, again, just we're kind of do an average of or a total actually. So my calories, oh, okay. I don't understand my notes half the time. So for this week, for what I've tracked, I did eat a total of 13,903 calories. No, I burned 13,903 calories, and I ate 10,468 calories. Now just to let you know, those calories that I eat, again, the calories I burn all depend on my Fitbit and if I'm wearing it, because it will be off. Like I said, usually I'm not doing anything whenever I'm wearing it, so it doesn't really, it's not going to affect it much, to be perfectly honest. I do a little bit of like while it's charging. Anyway, but the calories burned come from this. I also track my food on this. Fitbit is a little bit weird, like looking at food, because like you'll put in, I ate a burger. It's like, oh, did you eat a burger from Trader Joe's? Did you eat a burger from this place? I don't know why Trader Joe's came to mind. Burger King. And if you made a burger at home, unless you put it in like piece by piece, I ate this many, I don't know any of that. I'm not very good at specifically putting things in. And the other thing is when and sometimes I don't really know like how many ounces I had. I'm not that good at tracking, but I'm tracking. That's the whole thing. You don't have to be like, I was, but you just want to make sure that you track, at least give yourself like an idea of where you're at. Like I said, the reason I do, even though the Fitbit tracker can sometimes be a pain, the reason I like it is because it actually gives me like a little line, like, you know, oh, this is where you've been exercising, using your energy, and this is where your food's coming up, and oh, I like the visual. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Anyway, so I do have a tendency to sometimes go, well, I know that was about a cup. Was it a cup and a half? I'm gonna put in a cup and a half. I do overdo it usually, so it is possible that I'm actually eating more calories than what I'm actually tracking. It's also a possibility I'm eating less, because I mean, I can't say that I overdid it. It's possible I underdid it, but more than likely I overdid it. So yeah, so we talked about the calories out, calories in, and again, we're gonna talk about that in a second. My average calories in are 2,093 a day. Yeah, 2,000 calories. Again, we're gonna talk about that. Average calories out for my track days are 2,780 a day. And the average daily deficit, now that daily deficit is the average of the difference basically, is 687 a day. So 687 less than how much I burned. This is a normal, healthy deficit, considering increased activity. Believe it or not, that deficit's also healthy because of the stress, the sleep fragmentation, and of course, again, my tendency to overestimate how many calories I actually ate. So this is actually not too bad. I mean, it's really not bad. So maintain consistent calorie. It does say on here my largest deficit was I ate 1,432 calories less than I burned. That happens. We talked about the average. Talked about that, Fitbit. And yeah, real burn problem, where we're at. Still, you're gonna see, you look down because I'm looking at this thing every time. Yeah, whatever. All right, so talked about that. We're gonna do a quick overview, and then we're gonna talk about measurements. So basically, again, first one that we know of, reliable vitals. My blood pressure was normal and stable. My heart rate was normal for my physiology. My glucose was controlled and predictable. I like hearing that. I really do. My sleep was fragmented but consistent with my long-term pattern. Can't deny that. My steps were strong. I had strong weekday activity, which is good. Water, excellent hydration on tracked days. I should track on the weekends. I'm not very good at it. And my calories were in a healthy, consistent deficit. So it says here, even with stress, low sleep, and one disrupted day, your body stayed stable, your vitals stayed healthy, and your habits stayed consistent. Week 3 shows real progress and a physiology that's adapting to a positive direction. Yay. So let's talk about measurements. We started that last week, so we'll just do some quick changes. We're going to look at the left arm. I went down, and remember, just because I'm like, okay, last week I was this week I'm this, I may not have measured right. Like I'll go, okay, let me add half an inch because there's some skin there and it's pushing up again. So we're just gonna tell you what I did get, and for me, I will look at more of a long-term pattern when it comes to measurements, only because I never know what I'm measuring sometimes. Anyways, left arm, which is gonna be up here, it went down 0.5 inches. These are all in inches. Then no change to my right arm. My left thigh, so the upper thigh, that went down 0.5, same with my right thigh. My left calf went down 0.25. However, my right calf did go up 0.25. The bust went down 0.5. The waist went down 0.25, and no difference with the hip. So I had to do the total changes, and this is from my baseline from whenever that happened. I don't remember when the baseline was. Just to let you know, I have lost in the total in the week for all these 2.25 inches. So the total change for baseline, my left arm was down that 0.5. I guess that was this week, yay. My right arm has gone up an inch, and that's okay. The left thigh has gone down 2.25 inches. The right thigh has gone down 0.5 inches. Was that this week too? Yeah, that's funny. Left calf has gone down 1.75 inches. Right calf has gone down 1.5 inches. The bust has gone down 5.5 inches. The waist has gone down 4.25 inches. And the hip has gone down 4.5 inches. And so that means the total inches lost since my baseline sometime last year is 21.75 inches all around. So what does this mean? Yeah, most of my licenses are small, but they're consistent. Usually it looks like if I'm either not losing 0.25, 0.5, that's fine. And I'm okay with not losing too, because usually after a few weeks I'll see it or something like that, and I'm okay with that. And it does say the right calf went up slightly. This is normal measurement variance. But my arms, thighs, bust, and waist all dropped. So yay. What does it say here? But yeah, it's basically the trend over time that matters for me. I'm not gonna look at last week and go, I gained 0.5. I'm more likely gonna go last week and go, did I measure in the same area as last week? Like maybe I measured here last week for some reason instead of here, or I meant to do here, but I went down just, I don't know. I'm not very good at measuring. Pretty sure I don't measure in the exact same spot every time. So week to week, I'm happy to see them. But unless something major like, oh, that week I was, let's just say 40 inches somewhere, and then I measured this week and now it's saying 45, that might be something to kind of worry about, and maybe I did really, but those little 0.5s and stuff, again, it's just that kind of consistency over the time, and the trend that you see is really what I'm looking at. We're gonna pause, and then we're going to go into the medical portion. I know I'm making these things so long. I don't know why it takes me this long to do these, and that's okay. But anyways, we're going on the medical portion. We're gonna talk about this week. Then we're gonna talk about some changes that happened over this week, and then we will go start recording week 2, get some edits and all that good stuff. So be right back. 1 second. Maybe only a second for you. Okay, I told you just 1 second. Yo. This one's gonna be a little more scripted because, again, I am not a medical professional, and just to let you know, again, this stuff comes from Google. So I know because actually, just to let you know, this stuff, I have had medical professionals talk to me about it. So I just kind of just got it so we get more of a understanding thing. So this will be a lot of read off of, but that's okay. So we're going to talk about what I am going to call in my little universe, my little calico universe, something called CAT, which is also known in my little universe as caloric alignment threshold. And for this, and what I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to try and add in some things that I've kind of done to, if you see on the website and those little pictures that pop up, is my little Professor Calico. So we're going to have some clips from her. So we're going to talk about, yeah, I'll get you the scientific name, by the way, in a second. So here we go. We're going to go into this week's numbers, and I want to introduce you to something important. And as I said, yes, Professor Calico, PhD, pretty helpful cat, insisted on being here for this part. So the actual scientific name for what we're going to talk about is called energy homeostasis regulation. And that is a term you can look up if you really want to deep dive into the biology of all this, okay? But here in this video, of course, we're going to again call it CAT. We're going to call it your caloric alignment threshold. And yeah, just to let you know, I do forget even that, so we're going to call it the CAT. Anyways, what it means, just to let you know, CAT isn't just eat less, lose weight. I know you hear it a lot, but it's not. We're just going to give a little bit about it. Basically what it says, it's about how your body aligns the calories with what's going on in you, what's going on with your stress, what's going on with your sleep, what's going on with your hydration, what's going on with your hormones, and what's going on with your activity. So all that works together. When everything's aligned, your body behaves predictably. You lose weight, or you maintain, or you gain weight, you know, that kind of thing. But however, when it's not, the scale does whatever it wants, even if you're doing everything right. Let me see here. So according to Professor Calico, if you get too far below your cat, your body does panic and it's scared, and it clings to like a scared kitten to a ceiling fan. Yeah. So basically it means that yes, you can eat less than you burn and still see that scale go up because your body is reacting to stress, not calories. So let's talk about my week 3 cat in action. So my calories, again, we spoke about this earlier, but my calories in was 10,468. This is we're talking about Monday through Friday because this is what usually I track. Or at least that's what I tracked this week. Calories out, 13,903. That means my deficit was a total of 3,435 a day. So my average deficit a day was 687. So technically I was in deficit, and that means I ate lower calories than what I burned. No. I burned more, yeah, that's what I said, right? I burned more calories than what I ate. Yeah, anyways. So, but I was in deficit all week. So, but that doesn't automatically mean that the scale is going to drop. Now why is that? Is because your cat is misaligned. So here's what's going on this week. My sleep again was fragmented. I average about 6 hours. One night being a total guess on that 6 hours. My stress spiked in the middle of my week. Of course, every morning I wake up with my morning panic wake-ups. My hydration dropped on Friday. I had a low movement day and the weekend. Yeah. But my glucose had normal variations, but it did see that it reacted to the stress. I mean, it was normal variations, but it did like up a little bit. So all that affects how my body holds water, how it processes inflammation, how it stores glycogen. If I pronounced something wrong, sorry, but how it stores glycogen and how it responds to stress hormones. So even though I was in a calorie deficit, my cat wasn't aligned, which means the scale might not show a drop right away. So again, throughout the week, except for one day, there was one day I ate more than I burned, but except for that one day, I ate less than what I burned. And there were still days that I saw my weight go up throughout the week. Now I did lose a total of a pound this week, but like I said, with those daily ones I looked at, I saw some days that were going up. I actually saw it go up a few days, and then it just dropped when I started to kind of realign myself. So the takeaway is that cat isn't about starving yourself or pushing harder. It's about keeping everything in alignment so your body feels safe enough to let go. What's the thing my mom was? It's basically the other thing I've always heard is like when you eat less than you burn, like by a certain amount, and with all the stress and stuff like that, your body will hold on to it because it's going to go into what's called starvation mode and will try to save those calories for later. That's the basic gist of that, if you've ever heard that. But anyways, this is why I track all this, and it's not to obsess, it's to understand what's going on with me. And Professor Calico says, stay in your cat and your body will follow the plan. Okay. So really quick, this is gonna be the last part of this video. We're gonna talk about the changes this week. And I don't mean changes in my body, just changes that happened this week. So, had a lot going on. So let's just jump right into those updates. So again, last week I said I'm gonna start that new weekday plan. This week I started that weekday plan. The only one I wasn't able to do was Friday because I wasn't able to actually do my exercise after work. I had stuff to do. So, but other than that, a few hiccups, a few interruptions, we did pretty good. So I jumped into those, we did good. That whole issue we talked to about last week between me and Copilot, we'll call it an update. We'll keep it somewhat friendly, family friendly here. Anyways, that little issue from last week, it seems to have just magically solved itself, and I'll take it. Yeah. Because otherwise it's been some words. But anyways, that's okay. The next one. So my friend from Skyforge Creation, I can talk. My friend from Skyforge Creations, he's also known as Dime, the raccoon mage, sent me some 3D creations. And by some, I do mean he went full raccoon mage in a trash can frenzy and printed on an entire horde. An entire horde, yep. We'll go through everything in a spotlight video. We will, because that's a whole different thing to talk about. We'll talk about that in a different spotlight video, probably a few weeks for that one. But, because I have no patience, I'm a little excited. So I actually do want to give you a sneak peek of some of the stuff that he sent me, so that way y'all can take a look at it. And yeah, so let's take a sneak peek real quick. And we're gonna talk about, if you saw a bunch of these here in the background where I kind of have them laying. Of course I can get to my red one, This one was made for my grandma. She loved red dragons. So that's my little red one. But we'll get to one that I can actually get off out of here, because I have them all kind of filled up. I probably should have thought about that. That's okay. But my dragons, I love these things. I love dragons. So send me these. These will keep me very happy. And I actually already have. Like, I'll be at work and just sit in my lap, or I'll play with it or something like that. Or I get annoyed, I'll pet it because it's got a little spike in it. I love these dragons. I love these dragons. They're so cool. So anyways, I'll show you my dragons. Let's see here. Okay, buddy, don't fall. Y'all didn't see that. Stay. Okay. So we got some dragons. Let me see. I'm going to show you some little pocket pets. I'm just showing you a few things of what's available on that site that is on my webpage. And well, it's technically currently on my week 1 webpage, because I haven't updated my main webpage yet, but we're getting there. But anyways, and these are just, there's a whole bunch of stuff, like wall decor or whatever. These are just things I'm showing you. And these are like little pocket pets. I don't know if you can see them. Look how freaking cute they are. Look at those. Look at them. They're so cute. So I had to show them off. She's my little red dragon. Anyway, I love them. I really, really do. So anyways, so again, today you got a sneak peek of my pretty dragons and my little pocket pets, because apparently when Diane gets bored, he forges an army at 3 a.m. like it's a side quest. And I'm okay with that. No, but yeah, it'll be exciting when we actually talk about that. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a preview there. Why does the shirt keep moving? That's the only problem with this shirt, I guess. Anyway, so the other one too, I want to talk about the website. So I know at least at this time of making this video, I know the week 2 website isn't up and running. It ain't done. But between work, sleep, and just my life in general, I have not had the time. I am hoping to get it finished soon, and hopefully very, very soon afterwards get the week 3 up for this one here. Yeah, but y'all, I have been at work. I work 9 hours a day. Well, there's an hour lunch in between there, but I'm doing lunch stuff. So, but basically I'm at work for 9 hours a day. I get off work. I work out for at least another 3 hours a day. And then the weekends I'm doing these videos, and I'm trying to do websites. Just, I know last weekend we had the Copilot fun stuff happen. And then this week I've been kind of, I don't know. Well, hopefully we'll have some time tomorrow to actually work on that and get something up. But it is a lot more work than I thought. This whole thing is a lot more work than I thought it would be. But you know what? It's completely worth it, because again, it's keeping me motivated to talk to you about this, because hey, I mean, literally exercising last week, I was like, oh, I don't feel like it, and I'm like, oh, and then I'm going to talk on the video like, oh, I know I made a plan, but I didn't do it. No. So it's keeping me motivated, and again, I am really hoping that this will help somebody out. And like I said, if I help out, suggestions, just to see that somebody can do it, because like I said, and just because I can do it doesn't mean you can do it the exact same way. Just always remember that. But at least we're here to help each other. Okay? So, but yeah, I'll try and get the web page part of those weeks up as soon as I can. But it may be a bit. It's just been just a lot going on. That's about it. I'm just a busy person. Yeah. Anyways, the other thing I want to talk about, because I talked a lot about high stress this week, and yes, it's been a high stress week. But honestly, it wasn't even the weirdest part of my week. Life did hand me a few, we're gonna call them mysterious side quests. Nothing dramatic, nothing I can actually talk about, just the usual random chaos the universe likes to throw at me. I'm fine, everything's fine. Just normal life being weird yet again. So, that's okay. The other thing that happened this week is I did reconnect with another one of my old friends that I hadn't talked to in a few years. I am so glad I did. By the way, to my friend, all my love to you. You know exactly who you are, okay? Yes. My friends, I have the best friends. I really do. They've been there for everything. Anyways, so that wraps up this week. I'm loving going on this journey with all y'all. It does make all the chaos, all the spreadsheets, all the late night editing totally worth it. All right. So anyways, now from here, please go check out the spotlight video. We're going to be talking about Hello Heart. I know, contain your excitement. It's very riveting stuff. Yeah. Or from here, you can catch up on week 2. Go catch up on week 1. I'm pointing like there's gonna be things, but really at the end of the video, you're gonna see a little thing. But anyways, catch up on one of those ones. You can also go, if you haven't seen it already, you can go catch up on that whole story that I told about what happened since last year when I had the seizure. So that's the original video. And of course, like, share. Please share if you think it'll help someone, and subscribe. And I shall see y'all next week, okay? Bye.